Divorced Dead Diaries, day 412, and I went to go see the Backrooms at Silky Otter in Wigram. So there are a couple of things that are notable about this film. The first one is that it's directed by a 20-year-old, which makes me feel old because this fella was born like after Shrek 2 was released, and he's out here directing a movie, which is actually really cool. But the reason he got the part is because he made Backrooms series on YouTube starting when he was like 16. It's all like computer generated and whatnot. Now, I've never seen those YouTube videos, but I do remember when the Backrooms first sort of became a phenomenon on the internet. It's this whole idea that there just sort of exists a space between spaces. Like you take the wrong exit down a hallway or something and you end up in this sort of like infinite space that just doesn't quite feel right. And you can't quite put your finger on it, you know, it's just something about it sort of is just uncanny. And it's like you might not realize it at first, but you've actually just like accidentally clipped out of reality into some other dimension where everything is just not quite right. And I think the YouTube series also has some like monsters hiding in there or somewhere, but that's not what makes it special for me. It's just the fact that it's just this weird, really weird concept. So I'm interested to see how they make a movie out of it. Side note, but I also love the movie posters for this movie. Like you've got the main actor tucked away here and the majority of the space is just taken up by a wall, which really just sort of gives you the impression that like the room itself is an entity and it's suffocating. I'm getting artsy now. Let's just go watch the movie. For those of you who've been watching the last few days, if you're wondering, Daniel, are you just doing this to avoid doing that study that you're supposed to be doing? Please bear in mind, I did actually finish what I needed to do. It was 7.5 hours of study, did it all in one weekend. I'm pretty stoked about that. So, time to relax. I'm going to a movie. I booked in a time at 5 p.m, which was actually a really good time. Not gonna lie, when I often book tickets to horror movies, it's usually like 6:30 or 8:30 or something like that. So being able to get a 5 o'clock slot means I could just pop in, go to my movie, and I can order dinner while I'm here. It's one of my favourite parts about going to the cinema. I get to my seat, I order a chicken burger with chips and 2 drinks, and I just sit down and I don't have to move until the movie's over. In fact, it was almost too much food for me. I think next time I'll just get the burger. Okay, so cinematography, vibes. I'm actually incredibly impressed with what a 20-year-old on his directorial, is that the word? Directorial? Debut has pulled off. Honestly, that movie looks better than a lot of like big blockbuster films I've seen recently. However, like the script, the pacing, there were these like weird entities in the back rooms, and I won't spoil it, but like every time they kind of showed up, that was when the movie was at its best for me. But then there was also like this whole like subplot where it showed you why like the therapist became a therapist and why she was unhappy with her life, and it's like that whole thing could have just been cut from the film, and almost the story wouldn't have hurt the story at all. So it was alright. I wouldn't say it was a bad movie, but there's definitely space for improvement. The seating though, oh my god. So I'm there by myself, right? So I've booked one seat and I sit down. The second person who comes into the cinema sits down right next to me. And then the next 2 people sit down on the other side of me. And I'm like, are you joking? There were 3 rows in front of me that were completely empty. And then there were people sitting behind me as well. It's almost like everyone who booked around where I was sitting. So next time, I think I might book one of the rows closer to the front. Maybe I just picked like the best seat and everyone was trying to get the best seat. I don't know. Anyway, it's like 7:30 and I'm still full. It was a lot of food, and I'll catch you on the flip side.